Quote from the book on product teardown. This method involves breaking down competitors' products into their component parts and comparing them with your own solution. This is a super powerful method, but also a fundamentally misunderstood one. In this video, I will give an example on how not to do it, and I will share a couple of potentially game-changing best practices. Among these, a really counterintuitive one, which is you will probably learn most from tearing down your own products. Let's get started. In 2018, I had the questionable privilege of joining the worst product teardown I've ever seen. I will not name the client and not even the industry, but those who were present will know exactly what I'm talking about. We had several large meeting rooms with relevant products of competitors available. The event started with a briefing. Leaders were assigned for each of the competitor products. And an objective was given: find cost reduction ideas. After that, mayhem broke loose. The best analogy I can come up with is hyenas, vultures, and other beasts feasting on the carcass of a buffalo in the savannah. Participants felt free to rip out components of the products and take them anywhere they wanted. The assigned leaders struggled to take notes of observations made right from start. With all the mess, it became even difficult to clearly assign a component to a specific product. Also, for the majority of participants, this turned out to be the first teardown they'd ever participated in. So they didn't really know what to look for. The result was an unstructured list of ideas, but in reality it was more of a record of priorities some of the competitors had set to address certain market segments. Altogether pretty much useless. What a wasted opportunity. The somewhat sad aspect of this is that a lot of companies are conducting teardowns more or less this way. The good news is that doing teardowns right doesn't require a lot more effort and certainly doesn't cost more. So here are the best practices. First, document with video. Second, evaluate and quantify. Third, look ahead and not back. Fourth, do lateral benchmarking. And fifth, focus on your own products. Let's go through these one by one. For the first best practice, document with video. Here you should draw inspiration from iFixit. They do really great videos in which they tear down new gadgets as soon as they hit the market. Typically, when a new iPhone is launched, they travel to New Zealand or Australia to benefit from time zone differences. Having a video with a clear voiceover from the person in charge of the teardown has a lot of benefits. It allows you to follow up, research on aspects you may have missed during the first go. You can make the video available to people all over the world instantaneously. The videos also serve as a reference and as a training module for subsequent teardowns. Evaluating and qualifying is absolutely key. Check out this video with my friend and colleague Harald to get a feeling of what good looks like. Here, it is also important to differentiate what could inspire a future generation of your products versus what could be realized in your current product generation right away. Look ahead and not back. The downside of tearing down the products of your competitors is that it is somewhat similar to driving with your eyes firmly locked onto the rearview mirror. In the end, it shows you what your competitor had in mind a couple of years ago. The way to navigate around this is to try to get into your competitor's head, which brings us back to the video documentation. Try to draw a line from the older product generation of a competitor to the current one you're tearing down right now. And now try to extrapolate that line into the future. If you're figuring out the overarching design philosophy of your competitor, you will be able to pretty much anticipate what they will bring to market as opposed to what they have brought to market. And this will be a far more useful benchmark. Do lateral benchmarking. Useful ideas often come from outside your industry. For example, if you're looking at airflows to cool a component, looking at the solutions of your direct competitors will most likely just show you more of the same. But if you look at Dyson, for example, you will take inspiration from a company that built its entire business model essentially around really innovative airflows. Focus on your own products. And here's the most counterintuitive one. I'm pretty convinced that the most instructive products you can tear down are your own ones. First, your products reflect your org structure. Different engineering teams very much focus on the core of their area of responsibility, but nobody really focuses on the interfaces. You will find the biggest improvement potential at these interfaces. We've applied this many times, and at all the clients we convinced to look at their own products in the scope of teardowns, this has routinely been the most important source of improvement ideas. So there you have it, C7 product teardown, a purchasing chessboard method that can be an absolute game changer if done right. Okay, I'm curious. Have you ever performed a teardown of your own products? And what did you find? Let all of us know in the comments down below. And should you have a question, I will get back to you within 24 hours. Thank you for watching, and I see you in the next one. Bye.